Did you party last night? Do you want to forget? Did you party last night? And now you regret? Well, Andrew's in the house and he wants to get your party story. Did you party last night and you woke up today? Did you party last night and you got something to say? Well, Andrew's in the house and he wants to get your party story.
Hey everybody, it's me, Andrew Youngblood, with another edition of Party Stories with Andrew Youngblood. Today, I have a very funny guy as a guest. I'm excited to have him, a former Houston comic. Now he lives in, I don't remember.
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. I always think just north. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, Illinois? Where?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know
What is the
where he
most
lives.
forgettable city in America?
It is weird to think that you live there as a comedian. Just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah. No, I'm a comedian, and I chose to live in where again?
My understanding, the progression of comedies, you go to smaller and smaller cities.
Yeah.
And then you have to be the best one eventually.
Yeah. Biggest fish, tiniest pond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't even have ponds in
Yeah.
Indianapolis. So
They're
it's
probably
good.
not. They're all frozen over. I don't know. It still
Yeah.
counts. Joe Bates. A round of
Hello.
applause. I don't know
Oh,
why I
thank
said
you
it
so
like it was a
much.
show.
No, I'm glad.
And
Just put your hands on the wheel. Don't clap and drive,
Yeah,
people.
we record this from my car, so while I'm driving down the street. Anyways, he's in town at the Secret Group tonight.
Yep.
Obviously, this is going to come out much later, but he's headlining for the second time there,
Yep.
which is pretty exciting.
No, really, it was a really great show last time. So hopefully there's a good show tonight. You know?
It's not going to be. It's Sunday. It's Mother's Day.
Yeah, it's Mother's Day. I didn't know that when we planned it out.
I know. How many people do you think are like, you know what we should do for Mother's Day? Go see this Joe Bates guy.
Well, they've always said about me, Joe Bates is the mom's comic. Yeah, I'm a real mommy boy.
Did you, Joe? Did you grow up in Houston?
I don't know.
You don't know? Where did you grow up?
Well, here's the deal. I was born in West Virginia. There a year. Houston 7 years. Pittsburgh 2. Houston a year. Philadelphia, Lake Charles, Louisiana, Houston, Chicago, New Orleans,
What's that all about?
Austin.
Also, you lived in Lake Charles.
Yeah,
That's
Lake Charles.
weird.
That's the smallest pond.
Is your family a bunch of gamblers? Where did
We were running from the law. No, my dad just worked at refineries and oil refineries and
That
chemical
makes
plants.
sense.
So just
Yeah.
wherever he wanted to go, and we just went with him. At one point, I
You
was
don't have
in
that choice most of the time.
Yeah, so I don't have any friends. But at one point, I was in 7 different schools in 7 years.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I went to 3 schools in 1 year. That's the
Whoa, really?
1 year, yeah.
That's crazy.
But that's the most I've ever done.
Yeah. Did you keep getting expelled?
No. I moved around a lot.
You seem like a tough guy.
Yeah, I was getting expelled from my family. So I would like move with my
Okay,
aunt and then move to my dad's, and it was a different kind of
Party time.
Yeah, it was cool. I met a lot of people. I don't remember a lot of them, and I don't know
Yeah.
why, because I was only there for like 6 months, and I'm in 10th grade. I'm already just into myself.
And
I
you're
don't
already planning
remember.
on where you're going to be next. You know, that's the whole. You never feel like you're going to stay in one place for very long.
Yeah, I had no idea, and I should have, but I didn't. And,
Yeah.
But anyways, it's kind of cool. But that's a lot of traveling.
No, you get to meet a lot of people. It makes you a better person.
Make
I
no
think.
good friends.
Make no good friends. Make a lot of okay acquaintances.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I met you.
So when you come back to Houston, you're like, I think I know this guy. I go see a show, and that really works out really well. So I did a show in Chicago, and this girl came up, and she was like, hey, you remember me? And I was like, no. She's like, we had that one class in college together. And I was like, how am I supposed to remember everybody?
Yeah.
Not the way to respond.
Yeah,
Most people
no,
just
no,
say
no,
go with it,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I was just.
You do like shake their. You're like, oh yeah, hey.
Yeah, I
And
don't do good at that.
I do that, but then as soon as it gets weird, like as soon as one step further, it's like committing. Essentially,
Yeah.
you're like, all right, I'm just gonna pretend that I know you, and then if they call you out, they're like, remember this, and you're like, fuck, I don't know who you are.
Do I have 30 minutes?
Yeah.
They just nip it in the bud now, you know?
It's tough, man. I just had someone add me to Facebook that went to a high school with me, but a high school I only went to for 6 months, and then they
Yeah.
messaged me, and they're like, hey, I haven't seen you in forever. And I was like, I don't fucking remember anything about you. And then like we started talking, and apparently we used to like flirt a lot and like almost like dated in 10th grade. And I was like, I don't remember this at all.
You remember when Facebook had that thing where you were able to see all these messages that were blocked before, and you could go?
What do you
like,
mean?
Like I think it was like 4 years ago. They found out that they were filtering messages, so you were getting messages and not realizing it. So I looked through all those messages.
They're like, yeah,
And there was a girl who was like, "Hey, remember when we went to Europe that one time? We went on a school trip to Europe, and she was on a different school there, and girl was my first kiss." And she was like, "Hey, how's everything going on?" And I look at her profile. She's married with like 3 kids. And I was like, I'm not even going to reply to this one. I'm just going to – it's been a year since you sent it. I'm glad I missed this one.
Yeah, a year. That's yeah. It is funny that some of the people – I filter a lot of people that way, which is it's nice because it's pretty much if you're not friends with them, they send you a message, it goes there, you know, which is great. Because, and it's also fun when the first time you ever realize that exists. Like there's I found it in my, what is it, the mailbox called? It's not junk, but it's like I don't know, whatever it is. But when you find out, you're like, oh shit, and it's like an hour's worth of good reading.
Yeah, it's an hour's worth of good reading and a bunch of bookings I missed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's usually for me it's a lot of I didn't have to ignore this guy.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
I would assume a lot of you, it's like, hey, I'm real famous with my friends. Can I do a show?
Yeah, or it's like, hey, Joe Bates told me about the secret group or something like that. And then
is it real?
And they're like, so when are we doing a show? It's awful, man. Facebook is the worst. I actually have a rule where I don't book or if someone messages me on Facebook, just ignore it.
Really?
If it's booking related, because I don't think it's professional.
So you're all about emails.
You got to email me, or somehow you got my phone number and then you call me, which sucks. I hate it, but
there was a booker that I would email my dates, and I knew him, and he would reply, and he liked me. I knew he liked me because the people he told who didn't know they talked to me, he said he liked me. So I sent him a veils, and after a while he wrote back, "It's good to know all the weekends you're not working." And I was like, I don't know what professionalism is here. I don't know what I'm supposed to do or how to get work. But apparently you're supposed to get work by him just randomly asking you, and you're just waiting and hoping that weekend is open.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's fun.
Whenever I try to get gigs like at the Improv, it's more just like I see who I like.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, hey, can I open up for this? And it's also Chase DeRusso told me you got to do it like 3 days before the show because they don't ever book. Like they don't book out. They're just like last minute at the Improv. So you're just like, yeah, please. And then sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah,
a lot more no's than yes, but
Chase knows all those loopholes,
he
man.
does.
He's figured all those loopholes out. He's great.
He's like, you got to text this guy like 3 times a week and let's stay with him. It's not annoying. You just have to do it. Chase does know all the loopholes, especially in the improv world.
Yeah.
He loves it. Not improv world, the improv,
the improv, the company.
Yes, the company. Why did they do that? That is confusing.
Yeah, I think because that's what it was called. And then
back in the day?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the history of improv comedy. Like, was the improv before?
Was it an improv place?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's what
you would think.
Yeah, I would think that they were doing both.
Because improv stand-up, improv...
but when, like, Bob Newhart and all those guys were doing stand-up, like, and Jackie Vernon and Woody Allen.
They did a lot of crowd work. Maybe it's kind of like improv.
But was there, like, improv that was people like, okay, can I get a suggestion? I don't think there was.
Yeah, but there was crowd work, which is a form of improv.
Yeah, that's
for sure.
fair. That's
like in a lot of it, probably.
Yeah.
You know, where they would just walk around and talk shit.
What a bunch of jerks. Don Rickles. I mean, he was a real mean guy. I would want some nice jokes, Don. I'm glad he's dead.
Oh, good for him.
Good for him.
Yeah. See, I just watched The Quiet Place.
Oh, yeah?
Just right now. I just got back from it. Have you seen
it? I saw that you saw Albert De Leon.
Oh, that was weird.
Yeah.
I accidentally told him I love him. I was like, hey, what are you doing? He goes, oh, I'm at the movies with my mom. I'm going to see Blockers, which is short for Cock Blockers, which is hilarious. He's going for Mother's Day to see Blockers. And then we're just like making small talk. And then I'm like getting ready to walk back to go get popcorn and go to the movie. And I just go, I love you. And then I was like, oh, shit. And I panicked for a second. And then he just goes, love you. And then we walked away. And then
All-
I tweeted it, and he was like 2 people behind me and getting popcorn.
It's so weird because like one time you'll have a conversation like your mom, then your girlfriend, and then next you'll talk to your boss, and then at the end of the boss you like hesitate for a second, like, oh
Don't
this
say I
isn't
love you.
This isn't the one that needs to hear this.
Oh man, his sister was there, and Albert's so funny. He goes, "This is my sister," and I go, "Hey, nice to meet you." And then his next sentence is, "We don't have the same dad." Just like out of nowhere, just out of nowhere. It's like I was like, "That's a weird way to introduce me."
You could have followed up with like, I could tell, and then just shake.
Oh, it's goofy. Albert's great, and he has a great podcast.
Yeah.
That was on, so you should go listen to that too. It's called "Change the Subject" with Albert De Leon. It's really
Gotcha.
good. Next time you're in town, you should do it.
Will do,
It's a really good
definitely.
one. It's fast paced, and
Yeah.
he just asks you your opinions on like 50 different things in 10 minutes.
That makes sense. He's got a lot of ADD, so
Yeah,
probably,
that makes sense. I don't think he can talk for about one thing for that long.
So it's a podcast of him not paying attention to you.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Perfect.
it. Yeah. And have you seen The Quiet Place?
I've not seen The Quiet Place. I saw Avengers twice instead of seeing it once and then The Quiet Place.
Oh well, you got to see The Quiet. The
Yeah.
Quiet Place is pretty good.
I saw the Kanye Place on SNL. That
I
was
didn't see
very
that.
funny.
Is it good?
Oh,
I haven't
it's
seen
really
it.
good.
What happens? I
Well,
can
I'm
imagine some of
I'm
it.
assuming they had to be quiet.
Yeah.
And Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, if you don't know. He has a big music video out lately. This is it doesn't matter. But he is hosting, and they're walking around, and they're all being quiet. And then he's on his phone and goes, "Oh my God, Kanye just said slavery is a choice." And like, shh. And one person's like, "Wait, what happened?" And they get taken right when they get. So it's just him getting
That's pretty
updates of
good.
Kanye, getting everybody
Yeah.
upset, which was pretty funny.
That's good. That's good. The Quiet Place is a cool version of a show. It's funny. I haven't seen that, but I was talking about how I think it'd be funny if The Quiet Place was a thing, but with comics, and if you tweeted, then you disappear.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Twitter one day is going to be all the comics following all the comics.
That's
and
what
then
it
it's
is
just
now.
The single, the singularity, single neutrality. That's not a word. The singularity, and then Twitter will explode.
They get angry. Like I have friends that get angry that I'm not following them on Twitter.
Yeah,
And I think it's a very strange thing.
I didn't.
And they're
real-
like, I've been following you for 6 months. Why don't you follow me? And I'm like, I didn't know.
yeah,
I don't know. Plus, I'm working on a ratio. I'm not
exactly.
sure.
Well, that I explained that because I did that on Instagram where I started unfollowing a lot of people on Instagram.
Mhm.
And there's one comic brought it up like, I can't believe you unfollowed me. And I was like, how do you know? Like, how
Oh,
do
I
you-
have friends that have like apps that tell you like you got a new unfollow today. Like someone deleted you. Like
We're all so insecure already.
really
like, Why do
bad.
we need that
I
on
don't
top
want
of
to see that.
everything
Yeah.
else?
Yeah, it's so weird.
Like, I'm already worried if my girlfriend doesn't like my Facebook status. Then it's like bothers me all day. I don't need
Well,
to
that's
know.
because you're probably gonna break up.
Oh, jeez. sad face emoji.
All right, let's get into
Yeah,
a
you
little
got me
bit.
riled up.
A little bit of what the podcast is about. So,
Okay.
what is your first experience? What was like growing up in all the different places you did?
Yeah.
When did you first start like experimenting with like friends or? Well, that sounds, that sounds weird. I've never
know.
described it as
Yeah,
that before.
I mean, one time there was Billy, but I don't want to get into that. He's my cousin.
Oh, yeah. Double. It crosses it out. Double.
Yeah, well, I'm just controversial, Andrew.
Yeah.
I'm bringing the hot topics.
Yeah. What's your first experience like party wise? How'd you get into it, or what would you do, or?
I feel like I'm going to be different than some of the other people you had in your podcast.
That's good. I don't want the
'Cause
same.
I was, I wasn't very Christian, but I was very much don't party or do fun things. Just
Well,
be
that's-
a good student and because my brother and sister, they did a bunch of stuff. They had a lot of fun.
Were you the youngest?
I was the youngest.
Oh,
They were
okay.
like 7-10 years older than me, so I wanted to be a good kid.
Yeah.
And then I got into Christianity, and that was just
The
I
best
was-
kid.
Yeah, the best kid. I'm the only one that's gonna go to heaven anymore. I'm the truest Christian. But I, but I didn't drink. I didn't drink till I was 25.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so I was just but I'd still like hanging out with people.
Well, it doesn't have to
again.
be. What was a Christian party like when you were, and
So me
I
and
know
my
you went to
friends-
some lock-ins.
Yeah, me and my friends would play Capture the Flag in high school. We'd just go to a buddy's house and set up like nighttime Capture the Flag.
Oh.
We'd play poker, but not gamble anything. Our gamble
We
would
just
be,
gambled compliments.
Yeah, no, yeah. And blessed to you, I fold. But we would. Then nobody wanted to gamble money, so what we would do is, if you lost, you had to eat a paintball.
You had to eat a paintball.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
you had to drink
the
'cause it's
Christian
fish oil.
thing. The
Yeah,
Christian
well,
thing.
thou shall not gamble money, but thou shall do gross things. Or you had to stick your finger in this old stove and lick the ash. That was.
Man.
This
Did you have to do that ever?
Yeah, I didn't have to eat the paintball. That's the only one I won, which I heard was the worst one of all.
I can imagine.
The other one is Dave had to punch you in the arm if you lost.
Was Dave the big guy?
Dave was a big guy. He's a strong
Damn,
guy.
I
Dave was
bet.
a guy that if you're at the top of the stairs, he'd grab you. You have your backpack, shove you, grab the backpack, hold you up, and tell you he just saved your life. Dave was a fun guy. Just a fun time.
I had this friend named Geoff.
Oh yeah.
Which is weird. Jeff Geoff. I don't care.
Yeah. He's different.
But he went to the army, was like an army ranger, big guy, but as an adult was like that and still is, where his favorite thing is to just casually give you a dead leg.
Yeah.
Just like
Oh,
sitting
that
next
was
to each
fun.
other,
Yeah.
like in front of like you'll be like talking to a girl at a bar,
Yeah,
and he'll
that's
walk up and he's like, "How you doing, buddy?" Boom.
Oh,
and then you're just like, ah.
After the age of 21, he was doing this.
Oh no, he was like I met him when he was like 32.
Oh no! Like in high school, I love giving dead legs, but
No.
hey, once you're drinking, you just drink.
Oh no, he just did it. He liked to wrestle as a grown up. He literally had like a Porsche or some weird crazy sports car I don't know anything about, and was like dead legging me and just like putting me in headlocks. And I'm a big guy.
Yeah, that's
Like this is me as an adult being like manhandled and put into headlocks, and no one really ever did that to me.
That's so
He's the
great.
worst. I took him to a frat party one time.
Yeah, he must have been real fun for them.
This is what happened. It was one of the craziest things ever. Is he decides he wants to start wrestling me. I'm not interested in this, but
Yeah.
he puts me in a headlock, and then this frat guy who lives at the house comes up to him and is trying to break up a fight.
Yeah.
Well, he has some like PTSD thing that happens,
Oh, that's
and he
always
lets go,
the
and
funnest acronym.
yeah, and then he grabs this guy's head and puts it through a drywall, and then the guy just falls down on the ground, and then he runs out, and I'm like, oh shit, this is crazy. And then I run and I try to find him. He's walking around campus like a lunatic, and I see him. I come up behind him. I'm like, Jeff, and I like slap his back like, hey man, and he flips me over and like lays me out right there, and he's like, and I was like, damn man, we shouldn't take you anywhere.
Yeah, that's like Jason Bourne shit, you know?
Oh,
it
he's
just kicks
crazy.
him. I don't know where I learned these skills.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, for me, partying. So I didn't really party in high school. I hung out with friends. We did stupid stuff. College, I lived in.
What kind of stupid stuff?
Well, like I said, the eating paintballs
yeah.
and like playing catch the flag and just real fun boy stuff. One time we went to our friend's house and he was sitting with his dad, and we picked him up and kidnapped him from his house in front of his family, who did nothing and just shoved him in the car.
Did they know? Did you let
They were
them
in
know?
front of him, and they're like, "Have fun," and he was like, "Please save me, please, someone stop."
Were
What's
you guys
happening?
wearing masks?
No,
Oh, okay.
we weren't
So it just
that,
like-
you know,
okay.
that great.
Yeah.
But college, I lived in the international dorm in Austin, University of Texas, and there's just a bunch of kids who didn't really speak English very well. They were super fun to hang out with.
You have
Where
a
we-
foreign vibe. I don't know.
I have a
why.
foreign
You do.
vibe, yeah.
You've been all over America, but you do have this foreign
Yeah,
vibe.
well, they say, I'm similar to Borat. I remind people of Borat.
People
maybe,
say that?
Maybe you're getting a Borat vibe.
I
from
don't
me.
think it was a Borat.
Well,
thing,
not my
but-
voice. I don't have
I
a
don't
Borat
know.
voice. You know, my wife though. On the other hand, no, it doesn't matter. What are we doing? What are you doing? And
We have. This is funny. This is the first time I've ever had an audience watching a podcast.
This is a live podcast.
yeah.
This is.
Yeah.
This is when you know if you're doing good or not.
Yeah, my friend Roland here. Shout out
Yeah.
to Roland.
Roland,
You can
you're a
listen to
good
this
kid.
in 3 months, and you'll hear your name being spoke to.
Yeah.
30s of people.
Follow Roland and all the social medias.
Yeah.
And the college is fun. I like because you just lived in the dorm and we just hung out in the dorm all the time, and we would just do stupid shit. And then for a while I would. Oh, can I swear?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the rules of podcasting, to be honest.
I don't either.
I think so.
Okay.
I was on a podcast that was relatively good podcast and lots of listeners. And I said the F-bomb, and I go, "Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm supposed to say that." And he's like, "I don't care what the fuck you do." And I was like,
whoa, he did it too.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it was good. I think I made that up.
Okay, that was fun.
Part of it.
Yeah, it's good. Improv.
He said he didn't care what I did. I added the fuck.
Well, you gotta be harsh.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
it Brian Regan? No, but I did karaoke a lot, and then when I got out of college, me and my brother
Sober karaoke.
2 years. Yeah, for 2 years, 4 times a week, I was doing karaoke. Sober.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's real
That's
weird.
the foreign vibe I'm talking
about. Oh, it's another song from China, Joe Bates. I don't know why he even knows the words.
Yeah.
He just goes up there and smiles for 3 minutes.
That's fun. What kind of karaoke guy are you? Are you serious? Goofy?
Goofy. You gotta go
be
goofy.
Gotta
you know?
be goof.
You
If
know-
you can have a voice too, then that's double good. Like
Yeah,
if you can do a little bit of both.
Like a little bit of like
a little bit like,
yeah.
I can sing. Also, get ready. I'm gonna hump your leg in the middle of this song.
They say my falsetto is as beautiful as a young prince with a cold.
Can you? Let's hear it. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Well, he's got a cold, and but we used to do that all the time, and I loved karaoke. My favorite songs of karaoke: "Total Eclipse of the Heart" by Bonnie Tyler.
I used to do that.
Which
That was a fun one.
Oh, me and my brother would do it all the time. One time I did it in Egypt, in Cairo, Egypt, and my dad was there. And
What'd he think?
Total Eclipse of the Heart. Well, my dad's already disappointed.
Yeah, you and your brother.
Yeah, my brother's already way successful, but I'm not getting that family dynamic.
Oh.
No,
I met your brother once.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's
He's
gonna
wasted.
be here tonight. Yeah. Oh, that's.
I met him at a WrestleMania.
Yeah, a WrestleMania. Yeah, that was a good WrestleMania too.
It
That
was
that
one of the
Shane
better
McMahon
ones.
jumped off the steel cage for the first time. I
yeah.
thought a man was gonna die in front of my eyes.
It would have been great.
You
don't
I mean,
see
he's
a
not
lot
the
of
best
those
owner of
things.
SmackDown right now, but I don't want
Yeah.
to see the poor man
Yeah.
die. But I was singing Total Eclipse of the Heart in Cairo, Egypt, and then as you know, Total Eclipse, the part where he goes, "I really need you on tonight. I really need you more than ever."
Yeah.
At the ever part is when I would jump and get in someone's face and go ever and like
No.
try. Hey, the crowd usually loves it. Everywhere.
You didn't add the fucks.
Well, no, I don't do that. I
Yeah,
like
if
to,
people
I
do
like
that
to
one.
pay homage to the artist and
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the Dan band. All right,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
do covers. I do
Yeah.
true to art.
I once got asked to open for the Dan Band,
Really?
and I did not do it.
Oh,
It was
well,
not
that
a
would have
thing.
made or break your career. I
I
hear.
know. It was at House of Blues.
House of Blues.
But it was, I don't know. Anyways, didn't
Well,
want to do
I
it.
jump and I say, I'll go back to my story. I jump and I go, ever, and that is when an Egyptian man punched me in the face.
What?
I was like karaoke in front of my dad. An Egyptian man punched me in the face real hard, and I just kept singing.
Well, that's great.
I just kept going
Were
with
you
it like
bleeding?
nothing. No, but it was like right.
In the forehead.
It was kind of a backwards. This is a good for the podcast. A visual. It's
Yeah.
it's just what I'm doing
Went
right
like this.
now.
He had his hand like this.
Yeah, he had his hand like this.
Pinky
and
out.
Did that. Oh yeah, he was drinking a cocktail. No, he brings his like kind of. You know how in the movie Rookie of the Year and he Bowen Gunner sets
like,
the pitch.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Boom.
right
That's
there.
good.
He got me good.
What a
And,
good movie that was.
They say it was one of the best.
That's one of the best baseball teen movies or kid movies.
Yeah, I would say
There's
it's
that Angels in the Outfield, and then what was the one where he manages the twins?
MVP.
Was it MVP?
No, that's Most Valuable Primate. You're thinking a slap shot with the twins.
No, the twins. The Minnesota
Oh,
twins.
Mary Kate and Ashley go out of the town.
and take over the twins.
Yeah, I
something like
love the Avengers, the new
Yeah.
movie.
That was a good movie.
Yeah,
I
it
liked it.
was
You saw it
solid.
twice.
I
That
saw
seems
it
like a lot.
twice. Yeah.
So you were scared
so
you
there's
missed
only
stuff.
25% of the world still there.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Which one's left this time?
Just me.
That was kind of a bummer when everyone's disappearing.
Well, I took my girlfriend to the movie,
And she
had not-
disappeared in the middle.
She's dead now.
Wouldn't
yeah,
that be
disappeared.
great?
Disappeared. No, I love her.
No, not that she disappeared.
no,
Just like
what,
you
she's
know,
dead?
yeah, they have audience. They're not dead. Whatever.
They already bought their
we all
tickets.
know the guy's got a time stone.
Yeah, that's
it's not.
fair.
They didn't kill those people.
Well, I have theories.
They just
but I'm not getting
pixelated
into
them.
it.
I
But
don't
then
know.
I took her. She had never seen any of the MCU movies before. This is the only one she saw, and she got done with. She's like, "Why would you take this? Is so sad." And I go, no, but it's all the. She goes,
It's
this,
still
I
good.
never want to see this again. This is the
Oh,
saddest thing.
it was good.
Yeah.
I think it was good out of context, really. it was
Well,
definitely better if you've
you
seen
do
some of the
know-
other
yeah.
ones. Yeah.
It's a lot of characters. You're like, well, what's their background?
Also, I think it speaks to how much of a nerd you are that you said MCU.
Yeah.
Because it took me a second, like, what is MCU? Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, man, I play Dungeons and Dragons weekly. That's like my
Nice.
favorite party
Weekly?
thing. Yeah.
That's a good party.
Yeah, that's a fun time. I've been
See?
doing it for 2 years. We
And
just
if,
finished a
if your
giant
character
campaign.
dies, you eat paintballs.
Oh, yeah. If a character dies,
Still.
you eat a paintball, and then you you just make another, like, paladin.
You just eat paintballs, and everyone's like, Joe, you don't have to eat a paintball.
I'm a loser. I deserve my punishment. But D&D right now actually is like my favorite time. I look forward to it, making characters, talking about stories, making my own stories.
Do you have like a reoccurring character?
Well, no, I like creating a lot of different ones. My favorite one was I made a half-orc paladin named Greg the Human who had human parents, and he was convinced he was human. So he would go, I'm Greg the Human, and they go, no, you're an orc. He'd be like, no, I'm a human. And then they keep calling me an orc, and I keep correcting them the entire time. But I was a half-orc in reality. He was Greg with 2 G's, kind of like J-Off.
Yeah.
It was a weird name.
Two G's?
Did his
Every Greg has 2 G's. Just 2 G's at the beginning.
Yeah. Oh,
So
I guess
3
3
Gs.
G's.
3 Gs.
This movie is in 3G. By the way, just a side note, this is an insider baseball. Did J-Off have fingers on his gloves? No, it doesn't matter.
I didn't.
Okay.
His hands were too big for gloves, I think. He was a monster of a man. I don't know.
Strowman.
I don't know if I had to guess. He was 6 foot taller than I was.
6 foot taller.
Yeah, he's
6
huge.
feet.
He weighed
Jesus.
7,000 pounds. He was Thanos, pretty
Yeah,
much.
he was
like,
Thanos.
yeah, that's how I felt about
But
him.
the problem is he couldn't put gloves on, so he
Yeah.
was a safe Thanos.
Yeah. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
gauntlet for that.
Before
baby
they
boy.
made the thing,
Yeah.
the one giant. Oh, that was funny to me. I loved the giant little person.
Oh yeah,
That was
yeah,
great.
yeah. Well, they're not called little people anymore. They went back to midgets.
No,
No, they didn't. It's a
what are
little
they
people.
at? Is it a little
I don't know.
person?
I feel like there was actually a really good book that I didn't read, but I was told about, where they talk about how the term for like mentally handicapped and retarded and like mongoloid, where like the word was created to describe this person, then was used as slang, and then was offensive, so they had to change the word, and it just keeps progressing like that for that word when describing someone who I think it's mentally handicapped now. I think that is a correct term.
Yeah, I think so.
But
Maybe just handicapped.
yeah, but all the past terms that are find offensive weren't offensive when they first came out,
Yeah,
but became slang, then became offensive.
yeah.
It's a very strange.
A handicap, man. This is a thing that happened to me today. Also, I had a very stressful time in the movies.
Yeah.
I had to go to the bathroom.
Well, you were watching The Quiet Place.
I know. Well, yeah, it was a lot of jumping. in
Yeah.
it was good though. But I go to the bathroom, and I gotta go pretty bad, not feeling great,
Yeah.
and I always wonder, like, do you use the handicap stall or do you not? If it's the only one available, you use it, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Yes. So you just do it, and there's
Yeah.
nothing. It's not like I parked in a handicap spot,
No.
and I've never been like
well,
caught.
technically you have.
Well, I've never, but I never got caught.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's never been. It doesn't happen enough where like, all right, you're in there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so I walked in, and I was opening the thing, and a guy's like, "Could you not?" And I go, "What?" And I turn around, and he goes, "Can I please?" And he didn't look handicapped, but he looked also he looked like he looked in pain and like sweaty. It kind of looked like remember when that bug from Men in Black took over that guy? He was wearing an Edgar suit.
Yeah, let him
He
have
looked
it.
like
Let
he
him
had
have
an
it.
Edgar suit on, and he
Can I use that booth, please?
sugar water. and then I was like, all right. And then we looked at each other for like another like 2 seconds, and then he goes, "I'm handicapped." I go, "Okay."
Yeah, I mean, I get
it
what's
was
going
so
on.
weird. It was so weird. I don't know if he was handicapped, but it was the most awkward situation ever. Oh, it was scary.
That's
Made me
man,
feel
good
weird.
for him.
Yeah.
Good
I
for
hope
him to
he's
have
not
the-
handicapped.
Yeah, well, I'm just
And
glad
he
he had the
took-
confidence
He did.
to stand up for
He didn't-
his stall.
He had a I don't know. He had a stupid shirt on too.
Well, let's not get in the shirts.
He had a dumb shirt. I don't know. I felt like it had a dragon and flames on it. I don't remember.
like
It was
that.
just a lot. Did you like that?
Yeah, I like if he
It
had,
wasn't a button-up. It was a
if
T-shirt.
his shirt had a dragon and fire on it, and then he took that shirt off, that tattoo was still on it.
I don't.
That would
I
be
don't
nuts.
know. I don't know if it actually had it. I did watch Shrek yesterday.
Oh,
and so I think I might
yeah.
be projecting the
Mike
dragon
Myers.
yeah, the killer,
Yeah.
the murderer.
Cameron Diaz. They're
Oh,
all
yeah,
in that.
Smash Mouth.
Eddie Murphy.
Oh, donkey.
I'll tell you, I saw that. I'm a believer.
I believe you saw it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh.
Well, how was Shrek? I haven't.
That's in my new podcast.
What-
Is I'm going to talk about old movies that
Yeah.
everyone saw a long time ago. 2001, it came out. Did you know
yeah.
that?
Oh no, I didn't.
That's a long time ago, man.
man.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, you know a movie I saw the most ever in theaters?
Liar,
3 times
liar.
in one weekend. Well, no, I'm not. I'll tell you the truth. 3 times in one weekend I saw the movie
Titanic.
Dodgeball, a true American story.
What?
I love
That
that.
wasn't
movie.
that good.
Oh, it was
It was
great.
good.
It's one of the maybe the titular comedy act of Vince Vaughn ever. Is titular the right word?
I don't
Titular?
even know that word. I
Titty-
was just going to go with it.
I've been saying tertiary a lot. I like saying that.
I don't know that word.
We're talking about tertiary items.
I
Let's
need
get
to put up
the
a
main.
sign that says no giant words.
No, well, you're okay
Stick
with
to
giant
your-
little people, but
Stick
not
to
giant
your
words.
basics.
Yeah, okay.
Basic words on this podcast.
Yep.
On that note, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be
Sounds
back
good.
right after that. All right.
What's going on, everybody? This is Brandon Clemens from Dead Dialect Podcast Network and Dead Dialect Podcast. Just here to remind you to subscribe to all of our shows, including Party Stories with Andrew Youngblood, which is the one you're listening to right now. And, of course, Dumb as Hell, Dead Dialect Podcast, and many more to come. Do your part. We're doing ours. It's been fun. We love you, and we want to continue to love you in a completely normal way. So help us do that, and we'll be here for you. All right, back to the show.
All right, everybody. I'm back from our commercial break. This has been a nightmare of a podcast, and not for the reason you're thinking. I know you've been listening.
Jesus.
But this is the thing. This is our third attempt in fixing this. We've been lucky enough that autosave has worked on our computer. But what happened when we took that commercial break is we lost power after recording the second half of this podcast. So the questions that we always ask, we asked, and he answered, and we almost got through it, and then all the power went out. Not once, but twice. So now we're sitting in the office with everything else shut off,
Yeah.
and except for the computer and one little lamp.
Can I
It's-
use my George Foreman grill still?
maybe that's what's blowing.
that's-
that's what's blowing it. He's
Just making
cooking meats.
Yeah, I'm just making a hot dog.
That's
One
why I
hot
have a
dog.
strict no grilling, electric grills during my podcast
Electric.
rule.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're back. We're going to get into it before this thing shuts off on us because we both have shows to do in minutes. So anyways, let's talk about it. All right, we are going to go with the worst
Yeah.
party story
Yeah.
that takes place in Miami.
Yeah. It takes place
All right,
in
let's-
Miami. How did you know?
I know, right?
I
I'm a
went to-
psychic.
So here's the deal, viewers out there, what do you call your viewers? Party heads?
Well, we're not there yet.
Party
I don't have
time
viewers yet for this audio podcast. I don't have a lot of
Partonians?
viewers. Listeners is what we call them.
I call them viewers. 'Cause
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
video
you got a
podcasts.
video.
I actually call them nothing
A
because they
vid
don't
podcast.
exist. I've done 60 episodes. It's gone nowhere. I don't even know what Patreon
What's
is.
the most?
Go on Patreon.
What's the most
and-
views you got on one?
Oh, well, I got on YouTube, I got like hundreds of views on one for RuPaul's Drag Race. Where I actually had some people on RuPaul's Drag Race like run out across the show.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Well, they say I'm a big time. But no, the worst party, I'll tell you, it's in the smallest city in the South, Miami, Texas. No, Miami, Florida. I went there with 2 British guys I know from the land of England.
Can I guess their names?
One of them.
All right, sorry. Let's act cash.
My buddies, actually, Rob and Charles, they go to Cambridge. They're great guys. And we and Rob knew each other from college, and we hung out. But last year, we spent a week in Vegas, and this year we decided to spend a week in Miami. Party time city.
Yeah, with Charles, the most English name ever.
Yeah, with Charles and Rob. Is Rob
Rob
just
is
generic.
not. What is what's oh
It's
I was
short
gonna
for-
say what's
it's-
short for
It's
Rob.
short for Robert, Andrew.
I was gonna ask what's short for
I don't
Rob.
wanna-
Like,
I'll-
there's a-
Just to delay any future questions, Joe is short for Joseph.
oh, good. I didn't know.
yeah.
I don't
And
know.
Tim is short for Timathan.
I'll say this: the first time I recorded, he had a good antidote that was better than what we're doing now.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
doing-
yeah.
You know,
Well,
it's
we took the antidote first and then got the poison.
It was-
Poison. Is that, I don't
duh,
know.
duh, 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 duh,
Yeah,
duh, 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 duh.
Poisonous. So I'm with
It always
the
sounds
Miami.
like it always sounded like I don't know. I had a toilet seat that I would when I dropped it down, it would fall and it would go. And it would do it to the poison thing, and I would always drop it and be like, "That girl is poison." That's how I knew to put the toilet seat
Yeah,
down.
because then you're pooping too. That girl is poison, and then you're pooping because
It's when you're flushing.
maybe you're lactose intolerant and
know.
she's milk.
I think everyone is.
What?
Isn't everyone lactose intolerant?
I'm lactose and tolerant. I hate milk, but the gays are cool.
I still love stupid memes that are or when someone's like, "Oh, you screenshot." I'm like, "I'm lactose intolerant." You know, they like
Yeah.
they're stupid, and I just still love it. I've seen it a million times. Every time I'm like, "These guys."
They get it. No one else gets it, but
I love
toast.
it. Yeah.
That's the pun.
Yeah.
Anyways, Miami is a great city. So I go there. My British friends. We're gonna spend a week there. The first night, we go to Ocean Drive, where all the places are in Miami, and we eat at the fanciest of restaurants there, Johnny Rockets.
Yeah, the fast food chain that I know about.
It's sort of fast foody, yeah. It's kind of like a Ruby Tuesday sort of place, or a Red Robin.
Or Crystal Burger.
I don't know, Crystal Burger.
It's White Castle. It's even owned by the same people.
No, it's not like White Castle. I'm saying
Oh.
it's more like they actually make a burger. It's not really drive-through as much as you go there and eat in like a 50s diner. Johnny Rockets. We got a jukebox.
Oh, I got it.
It's like
Red Robin. I get it.
Yeah.
Red Robin. That's my favorite. I like to say Gabe Bravo. Gabe Bravo. And then, yeah, that's it. That's the joke. That's what we do. He says the come. It's a two-part thing.
Well,
It's
he's not
predictable.
here, you know. I saw him yesterday. He's doing all right. If you're wondering outside in the
They're wondering who
viewership,
he is. They're like, who is this guy?
If the party timenites are wondering,
That's what I call him.
he is fine.
I call him my timesters.
My timesters.
Yeah.
What's up, timesters?
Also, it's not called party time. So it is party stories.
Party
So
stories.
I just, but all right.
You should still call them timesters.
Yeah.
Party story. I get paid every time I say party time though.
Yeah.
A party.
But
City.
party city.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, Party City, Miami. We go to Miami. Johnny Rockets eating some burgers, drinking Bud Light as you do. It was like 7 p.m. We're telling each other we're gonna be up till 5 a.m. It's gonna be a crazy night. We're gonna have a ton of fun. And while we're sitting there talking, they're speaking English accents because that's where they're from. This older guy comes up. He's drinking like a strawberry daiquiri, and he goes, "Hey, are you guys from England?" And they respond truthfully with yes. And, and it goes, "Oh, interesting. That's cool. What do you guys do?" They explain they do some stuff in law. And he goes, interesting. And then he keeps telling Charles how beautiful his hair is. He goes, "I love your hair. You have great hair." And Charles goes, "Brad, you have great hair. Your hair is wonderful." And I, as the wise person of the group with the jokes, I go, "You guys should scalp each other, then switch hairs." And Brad, who explained he's a former football player working for a pharmaceutical company, goes, "We're making a drug that can do that." And I go, "What?" That's not a thing you can do. Does a drug make your hair fall off, or like in a way that's palpable for wigging? I don't know. Is wigging a word to make wigs? To wig?
A wigger. Like the guy who makes wigs.
Yeah.
Would be a wigger.
Maybe
I
a
would think.
toucan?
Yeah.
Anyways, the guy is, he says,
A wigographer.
a wigographer, yeah. That's the name of your fans,
Yeah,
wigographers.
wigographers.
So he tells us there's a car driving around. He's very popular and very famous, and he knows all the places in Miami. He's here for one night only, and explains all this stuff to us. And he goes, "I got a car driving around. I'm really rich. You guys are great. Let's go to Mango's."
Love mangoes.
Now, that folks who are listening at home, Mango's is when this podcast cut off. So now Andrew's
Yes. Now this.
back into the story.
Yeah, I'll be in it now. I've tuned out for the last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I had some good things last time.
It
We
was
talked
fun.
about Dan Marino,
Dan Marino.
Charlie, Charlotte, and what
Charlie,
other 3
Charlotte,
people.
and Chuck.
All stuff that you're not getting any
If
reference
you go to the Patreon account and donate, you can get the video part with the deleted scenes.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if you do that. I don't know if people have it. I don't know how it works. But so he takes us to Mango's. So we're walking to Mango's, and he is wasted. And he goes, I'll buy the first round. I'll buy the first bottle. Then I'll head out, and you guys can just have a good time. And we're like, all right, we'll get some free booze from this guy.
The first bottle.
Yeah, the first bottle.
There's only 4 of you. That's like it is. I'll buy the first bottle, but y'all have to get the second.
Yeah, we'll be gone by then. So Brad's like leading us, and we're walking, and Charles thinks Brad is great. He loves Brad, and me and
Why
Rob
wouldn't he?
are
He's an
talking.
ex-football player.
Yeah, well, he's ex-football player, tons of money, pharmaceutical giant, PR
Car
guy.
is just you think he has a car that's waiting for him?
Yeah, he has a
You think
car
he was
that's
just
waiting-
like, I have the Uber app?
Yeah. I think this is before Uber, maybe.
Okay.
I mean, like right near the this is
On the cusp.
on the cusp of Uber.
Yeah.
We still doing taxis, and we walk, and I go to Rob. I go, are we following a dude we don't know to a random place we don't know so he can buy us a bottle? We're not really sure he's gonna pay for
This is
it.
awesome.
And Rob's like, just go with it. And I go, all right, I'll just go with a stranger. Like everything they tell you not to do.
Yeah.
I go, well, I guess we'll do this. So we get there, get the Mango's. We are the first people there.
The
It is-
first people at
They're
a
still
nightclub.
early. All the tables are open. Brad slips the bouncer $100 and
To
goes,
let you cut the non-line.
he goes, to cut the non-line and to give us the best table. They're all open.
You can have whatever table
Every
you want.
table we want. Brad slips them 100.
You want a couple tables?
Yeah. The bouncer just like, yeah. How about this one? And Brad goes, great. And we sit down. He orders a bottle. They take a little bit. Brad's talking about his life.
Who do you play for? Do you know?
I think the Atlanta Falcons is what he said. I
good
looked it
team
up, but I
nowadays.
couldn't find it again.
Oh.
We looked it up at the time, but I think we were pretty sure he did play for football in like the 70s or 80s
Yeah.
or something. He's explaining how him and Charles are really smart and Rob are really smart. He mentions he doesn't like me. He
That
does
makes
not
sense.
like me at all.
I get it.
And I have that vibe to be disliked.
Yeah. It's the foreign. coming out,
It's my
yeah.
foreign-ness.
Mm-hmm.
Which I okay, Trump. No,
Hey.
so he gets the bottle, and when the bottle of Grey Goose vodka comes and they set it up, people start coming in, and starts filling out really quickly. So it's a good thing we
He's
got
gonna
there early.
disappear. That's my prediction.
Okay. We'll see where it goes. So he gets the bottle of vodka, sits it down, and I think to myself, this is a stranger. I don't know him. I just won't.
We should have sex.
I make the idea. I go, I won't drink as much, so that we'll have somebody sober to take care of us. If things.
You are responsible. The few times I've hung out with you, I've noticed that you are the most sober in your group. When I was at WrestleMania and we were on that show together, I showed up and your brother and his friends were fucking
Yeah.
shit hammered, and you were like drinking a little bit, but also looking at me like you were embarrassed. Like you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how I.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've gotten past all that now. Now you saw me once also. We went to Rudyard's and then the Cecil's, and I was blacked out at Cecil's, and Jermaine had to take me home because everyone's like, someone's got to take care of this kid because he's
man.
gone, and I went to.
If it makes you feel better, I was too drunk to remember that. So,
So I caught up that one
There we
time,
go.
Andrew. So I say I won't drink as much. That way, I'll protect us if anything nefarious happens. And then when I say that, Brad pours a bunch of vodka in my glass and then some cranberry juice, and then I go, or I'll drink most of the vodka so that they're forced to be sober
Oh,
and
good
take
call.
care of us.
Good
It's
thinking.
one or the other. So I chose that route, and I started drinking a lot of vodka.
Good for you.
Vodka Red Bull, vodka cranberry, and those are the only two.
Vodka, other things.
Coke and
Oh,
vodka.
Coffee vodka.
yeah. Straight
Coke and
vodka.
Jolt Cola.
Vodka and RC Cola. That's my
Yeah.
favorite of the Royal Crown.
Was
that's from
RC
England.
and Jolt the same thing? Like,
No, Jolt.
super
Jolt,
ca-
no, RC is just like it's,
didn't one become illegal or
yeah.
something
Jolt
weird?
is illegal. Jolt was like the Sparks for non-alcoholic
Yeah.
beverages.
Yeah, the Four Loco.
Yeah, the Four Loco. So I started drinking a lot of vodka. They're doing a show, so they're doing like Michael Jackson impersonators. They're doing like impersonators, like lip syncing and dancing. It's fine. It's for 40-year-olds and up. That's what
Yeah.
this place is. It's for
Yeah.
older people to have a good time in Mangoes in Miami.
Mhm.
So we're drinking the bottle. I'm drinking a lot of it. Brad has now gotten sadder and sadder, talking about how his kid doesn't talk to him. He needs to get back with his ex-wife, but he can't. And he's getting sadder and more drunker. And then he tells Charles, he goes, "You and me, we get it. They don't get it."
What didn't she get, Joe?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just drunkenly looking at him and looking at Rob and go, I don't know what's going on.
Was Charles a sad guy?
Charles, sort of.
Maybe he just felt.
I think they
I think sad
connected-
people can feel other sad
They
people. They're
connected,
like,
yeah.
we get each other,
Yeah,
man.
they connected on the sad thing.
They
But
got
they-
both. Yeah.
But the way they explained it was that they get business and understand how to make money. That's what
Oh,
they
yeah.
get.
That scalp idea
In
sounds
a
great.
weird- yeah. I know how to make money. I'll just spend it all on these guys. And so he keeps drinking, and then we finish the bottle, and Brad, sorry, there's a visual, does the finger in the air, that move.
Let's go.
Another round move. Yeah.
Oh,
like Tim Allen.
I always think of like the Adam Sandler, like, let's go. the spinning part.
He goes another round. They bring another.
I also like how
bottle.
you said that move, and we are on a podcast. They didn't see. They didn't see
Yeah,
what
I'm
the
not
finger-
good for podcasts. I do a video podcast.
It's the circle your finger in
Yeah,
the air
circle
and
your
point
finger,
like
you just don't care.
yeah. I need another round,
yeah,
or
another
I
round.
gotta.
Yeah. So they bring another bottle, and I go, Rob, are we buying this? Because it's $600 a bottle,
Damn.
and we're not.
Y'all
this
got
is
Taka and
yeah, they were still in college. I just started working. We did not have money
yeah.
to be spending the first day of a 7-day trip $600 on a bottle of Grey Goose. One which is too expensive.
Yeah. How did Charlie already get it?
Yeah, I don't
and
know.
he's in college.
I think it was the conversations of hairs and the fact that he had an English accent. That
Yeah.
always makes you sound smarter.
and rich.
Well, he probably is rich. He went to Cambridge. The
Yeah,
family
yeah.
probably
Well,
had
yeah, he
decent
can
money.
afford a $600
Yeah,
bottle.
well,
Good- well, maybe.
I could not.
Yeah, of course. You only had to
but-
pay $200.
So then,
That's all.
That's what I'm saying. I can't afford that. So he brings another bottle. I go, I gotta drink this vodka too. So to save my friends. So I start taking the bottle. Brad definitely doesn't like me. And then the
Because you're
bounce-
drinking all of the
yeah.
vodka.
And the bouncer comes up and tells Rob, he's like, you got to get this guy. He's too drunk. We're going to kick him out. Because Brad is trying to go on stage now.
Brad's too drunk. He's getting kicked out.
Yeah,
Not you.
Not us.
Okay.
Brad is trying to walk on stage. And the bouncer's like, we're going to give him the check. You got to give him the sign, the receipt, and then leave. And we're like, okay, just give him the receipt. While this is happening, Brad goes, do you guys want to go upstairs? And I go, well, what's upstairs? And he goes, the next level.
Nice.
And then stares at me for way too long in silence.
And you wanted to, though, right?
And I know that was the
You were too
scariest.
much?
That was.
Oh, man.
I thought that'd be like a hostile situation.
I like
you know?
pushing the limits.
Oh, not me. I'm
Oh.
a big square.
Yeah. I want to see weird shit. Let's do it.
So
Roland sees weird shit. Weird guy
Roland?
over here.
yeah, I can see. I
I
can
know.
see the eyes. You know,
I
there's
know.
nothing behind him.
Because he's seen it all.
He's seen it all.
He knows.
It's left his
He
brain.
knows. We get it.
Yeah.
We-
Oh no! Oh, it's happening again. This is the second worst party. Power out. No. We bring the check. He tries to get on stage again. The bouncers sit him down. He signs it, and the receipt falls. And I go to pick it up to help him. and he like grabs my arm and goes, "Don't ever fucking touch my receipt ever again." And I go, and I look at it, and it just says Brad with a line going down at the bottom of the receipt. No last name. He signed it Brad and
Just
drunk.
That's
And so they get him out. Charles walks him to his car, which had been traveling. There really was a car to pick him up that picks him up. Charles puts him in the car. Charles comes back. We are done with Brad. But we have a new problem. I am very drunk.
Yeah.
I am
And
too
mangoes.
drunk. I go, I'm going to go upstairs now.
Oh, you were gonna go upstairs.
The next level.
I would assume you needed Brad to get upstairs.
No. So I walk up there. It was just another dance club. It was nothing. But I'm
Oh.
like, I'm at that drunk where the only way I can go forward is if I lean. Like, my feet don't do it anymore. I need momentum. I need to lean my giant head forward, and then it just kind of forces me to go directions. So I just start bumping into everybody, and as I bump into everybody, I go back downstairs, and then I try to get on stage, and I was kicked out immediately.
Of course.
And right when I left, right when the doors opened, this is when I blacked out. Now, here's the rest.
The last thing is you remember.
Is getting kicked out of the
Okay.
mangoes.
There you go.
And this is what the rest of the story was. My buddies come out and they go, "Joe, are you okay?" And I was, and they're like, "We're gonna get pizza. We need to get something to eat." So we start walking. While we're walking, a guy just walks by, drops a bag of cocaine in front of us, and goes, "Coke."
Drops it.
Yeah, just drops a bag of cocaine on the ground and goes, "Coke." And my buddies were like, and Charles really wanted to do it. Rob was a little more like, I don't want to get messed up with any of this stuff.
I don't
And
want to get
me-
addicted. You seen the stories on these this stuff?
Me blackout drunk, go, "Guys, we can't do that." Still responsible, although I just
Yeah.
drank like a bottle of vodka by myself. Still responsible, explaining, "Guys, you don't understand. We get involved in that stuff, we're gonna get into the wrong crowd." Somehow drunkenly explain us not to do coke. Then we walk some more. Then we get 3 more offers for cocaine to the pizza place. We get in the pizza place. Before we get in the pizza place, Rob and Charles have walked a little bit distance. Rob looked back and goes, "Joe, what is that?" And I had a bag in my hand.
You got the Coke.
No. He goes, "What's in the bag?" I go, "It's my bag." And he goes, "Joe, what is in that bag? Where did you get a bag? What's in the bag?" I go, "It's my bag." And he opens it up. "What do you think is in the bag, Andrew?"
Oh man, I wanted to guess. So let me. It's not the Coke.
It's not Coke.
All right, 3 guesses.
3 guesses.
Your own poop.
No.
Okay, I didn't think that was gonna be it. And the other 2 guesses would be marijuana.
No.
Brad's wallet.
It was Brad's wallet. No. It was rotten banana peels.
What?
I had a
How
bag.
would I ever guess that?
I had a bag of rotten banana peels that I grabbed from the garbage and decided that's what I wanted to carry for the rest of the night.
There you go.
Rob wrestled it from me, and I put up a fight. I said, "This is mine. Do not take this away."
That's
from me."
funny.
Throws it away. We get to the pizza place, and I go, "I'm going to use the restroom." While I go to use the restroom, they order some food, and another guy, while they're ordering, offers them cocaine. It's like in Miami, at a certain time, every block you get offered cocaine.
It's made of cocaine.
It's
Miami is.
yeah,
That's
it's
a hub.
I mean,
it's a
that's what they
cocaine
say.
hub
It's
of the mid.
It would be
Florida.
below sea level, but it's built on so much cocaine that it's
Yeah.
actually it doesn't get flooded.
I've seen movies.
I've seen 8 movies.
Yeah, and I watched.
One was
I watched
Shrek.
Narcos once.
Yeah, that's a long movie. It's
Yeah,
a TV show.
I know. They always
Uh,
take breaks in the middle. I think their power goes out between
Yeah,
each
their power goes
episode.
out. So they're there for 45 minutes at this point, and I'm still in the restroom, and it's like a single restroom with a door, and they go, "Oh, Joe hasn't come back yet," and
You're
they-
doing banana peels in the
Yeah,
bathroom.
I'm just crushing banana peels, and then they go, the door's locked, so they have to convince the owner to open the door to the bathroom.
You're
They open it.
sleeping.
I am pants down, asleep, on the toilet, and they go up to me, and I'm like, and they have to pull my pants up,
Oh no,
button
dick
my
out.
pants, get in the
Dick out and
taxi.
all.
Yeah, we got kicked out. We got in the taxi, went home.
Why'd they kick you out? Seems
Uh,
unreasonable.
This is, by the way, that we got done by 11:30 p.m. We said
I
we were going to
knew
be
it.
out till
Yeah.
5 a.m.
There's no way. You start at 6. You don't go till 5. You can't go 11 hours.
Without cocaine.
You can't. Yeah. Or just in general. Even with, you can't. It's too long. You get 5. I think average person 3 hours. if you're a trooper, you get 5 to 6. Most you can party if you're actually partying, like the way
Yeah.
if you're hanging out with Brad doing bottle
just
service.
Doing bottle service. $1,200 this guy spent on 3 strangers.
Wow,
That's crazy. So I wake up
That's
next
really
door and
nice.
they tell me all the stuff that happens, and I go,
Where's Brad?
there's no way that happened. Prove it. And they go, you have really dark pubes. I go, all right. It happened.
Couldn't they just assume you got a dark hair?
Well, you know.
Carpet always matches the drapes, right?
It's a
Why do
weird-
people ask that question? Is it rare that it doesn't? Like they're like, oh yeah, no, I'm a ginger down there, but here, black hair.
Well,
This-
it's the same color, but it's piggy tails down there, so
Piggy
it's the
tails,
style
what
is
is that?
different. But yeah, so that was the worst because it took 3 days to recover. Ruined the Miami trip. Although it's a good, memorable story, but it was.
That's a great story.
We all should have died. I feel.
I love it.
So Charles should have been abducted. I should have passed out in the garbage, and Rob should have just went back home.
And Brad was gonna eat one of you.
He's
He's a
Was
weirdo.
gonna-
I
yeah.
like it. Brad seems like a great guy. He's sad. He's probably doing the same thing right
Yeah,
now.
there's a lot of
somewhere
people
else.
getting,
Well, in Miami.
talking about his kid and then just getting people bottles.
Yeah, I can't imagine his relationship has gotten better with this kid. So it's, like, do you think he got his life together after
No,
that?
I don't think so. You know.
But wouldn't that be great? And wouldn't you be happy if you, like that's what he's like? I hung out with those fucking guys, and
if Brad was talking about us.
yeah, on a podcast.
Cool, because no, if Brad's talking about us on a podcast, he's telling them, and this one guy, I don't remember his name, he doesn't get it.
Yeah, and he's rich enough where the power doesn't go out.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
middle of the
yeah,
podcast.
yeah,
So.
yeah, that's pretty nice.
Joe, thank you for doing the podcast.
Thank you for
We're
having
running
me.
out of time. We don't have time to do the best. Or
Well,
what's what I always get.
It doesn't matter.
doesn't
I'll
matter.
Tell you
We
what,
tell
that was
stories.
the best and worst party. We'll do a
Boom.
combo.
I like it. Joe, where can people find you, your podcast,
You
everything?
Can, I have a website, joebatescomedy.com. You can follow me on Twitter.
That's my website address. That's
oh
so
my
weird.
God. You can follow me on Twitter at JoeAmerica22. I have a podcast I do every Saturday at 1 p.m. live on Facebook called Rank You Very Much. We rank anything and everything. Definitely check that out. And also is on YouTube. You can subscribe on YouTube. Those are the only 2 things I care about. I don't do the iTunes or any of that stuff because
Fuck it.
I don't want to get an audience.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
And then if you like wrestling, Thursdays I do Fatal 4-Way Radio. It's a podcast about SmackDown Live. It's just a recap.
It's about SmackDown.
Yeah, it's just a recap.
It's about the worst of all of the WWE
It's a recap of
shows.
SmackDown Live. The best part about that podcast is that it's hosted by a guy called Minister of Sinister. Another guy on is named Batman, and my name is Joe Bates. But it's on the World Generation Podcast Network on Blog Talk Radio, so you can check that out if you like wrestling.
Love Blog Talk.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's all I got. JoeBatesComedy.com, and that's I'm a baby boy. What do you got to plug? Andrew?
I got nothing. Again, follow me at No Youngblood on Twitter, at YB Books on Instagram. Tune in every week for this podcast. I forgot the name of it, so this is great. I didn't forget my name.
Party
I know.
radio.
Potty time.
It's potty time.
Potty time. There. Party stories with
Party.
Andrew Youngblood, as always. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.
Party stories.